Let's go to business news now. Around 100 jobs are on the line in Gisborne at a wood processing factory. Jukin plans to cut production of plywood and laminated timber products at its Matawhiro plant because of a weak Japanese housing market. They are a big employer there. The Gisborne plant has been losing money despite efforts to streamline and economise. It will continue to process logs into other products, and its plant near Masterton in the Wairarapa will continue to operate as usual. Now, Jukin's General Manager David Hilliard told our business reporter Jonathan Mitchell it's a difficult proposal, but he says necessary.
We are a Japanese-owned company, and the plant in Gisborne was set up specifically to supply product for that market. Our parent company in Japan is one of the largest independent house suppliers in Japan, and so the products we make in our plant were specifically for that. And unfortunately, the machinery isn't best suited to make product for other markets. So that's led us to this conclusion.
How big a decline is there going on in Japan? Is this just temporary, or is this going to be long felt?
Oh, no, it's been declining over a number of years, and I haven't got the figures that would say how far it's declined, but certainly demand for our products has declined significantly.
So you're not the only one caught out by this?
Not at all. The other suppliers into the Japanese market would be feeling the same. But we can't blame Japan. It's just simply that their age demographic is changing as it is in a lot of other developed countries in the world. And therefore the demand for the sort of housing that we build is declining.
But this is certainly, not just for you, but, that upper East Coast area, another nail in the coffin for the jobs in that region.
Oh, it absolutely is. And remember, we live here in these regions. We are part of it. So it affects us as much as it affects anybody else. And so if we can see growth in these regions, we absolutely want that to happen.
It was the General Manager of wood processing company Jukin, Dave Hilliard, talking to Jonathan Mitchell. Jonathan Mitchell beams in live himself. Happy New Year, Jono, joining us from Wellington. This is big news in and around Gisborne because Jukin is a big employer there. What happens next for workers?
That's right, John. They employ more than 200 workers, so if this proposal goes ahead, they'll be losing half their workforce. Now, staff have a couple of weeks to respond to the proposal. Then the company will make the final decisions. They won't give an exact time frame, but Jukin does admit that it is tough to get jobs in the regions, especially Gisborne, and they'll be doing as much as possible to help affected staff.
Jono, what... I don't know, really. I mean, what more can we say about that? The staff are going to respond. We're assured, I guess, by Jukin that this is a good faith process, so we just have to wait, really, the outcome of the next couple of weeks, do we?
They'll be putting submissions forward, the workers. The company will be going through the process to go through those, and then we'll have an outcome.
What happened on the markets today, Jonathan?
Well, some news this afternoon out of Japan. The Bank of Japan held their monetary policy steady, but they think inflation will get to their midpoint target band around 2% by next year. Here in New Zealand, the top 50 index fell 28 points to 8,307. There was a fall for Z Energy today. They put out a statement. They're forecasting lower earnings because of a squeeze on fuel supplies and higher oil prices. So that led the market down. And the dollar is a bit mixed, 73.2 US cents, 91.7 Australian. John,
thanks so much, Jonathan Mitchell from Wellington.